Welcome to the Azam Shop channel on YouTube. I'm your host Muhammad Azam, and this will be fourth or fifth, I don't remember, the part of the Learning iOS Development series. Okay, so in the last part we learned kind of like the basics of the Objective-C language. Okay, and now in this part we are actually going to build a simple app. When you press something in the when you type something in the text box and you press the button, it will it will just alert. Okay, let's do that. That's the simplest thing. So the first thing, we have already declared the name variable. We have already declared the property variable or the property, and we have already synthesized the property name, which means that it will be available to the outside classes. But how do we declare, or how do we connect something with the text box? So if this is my file owner, okay, you can see right now what's going on is that it has something called outlets. Okay, an outlet is something that will connect your property in your view controller to an element displayed on the screen. All right, and right now the element displayed on the screen, actually we will change this instead of the, let's actually put it over here, and right now the element on the screen is text box, which I just dragged out, and let's say over here greet in the button. All right, here we go. So we have a text box, and what we want is that whenever something gets changed in the text box, or we want to access the value of the text box in our view controller, which is this. But if I right click on it and I see all the properties over here, I don't see the name property we just declared, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say IB outlet. So I have a property called name, but it is an outlet, which actually means that this property can be used to get the properties, or to basically link to a interface element. And the interface element is not string, right? It's UI text field. So we will have to change this. We can say IB outlet UI text field. Oops, here we go. And the synthesized will actually remain the same because it doesn't really have a type associated with it. But once again, IB outlet, whenever you declare something IB outlet, and most of the time you will be declaring the controls, like a text box control, like a slider control, a table view control. You do this in your view controller so that you can access the values of the interface from the interface in your view controller, and then you can do something actions on it, right? Let's go to the zip file again, and now if I click on it, you will see that I have a name outlet. So what do I do? How do I connect my name outlet to the text box? Well, you actually literally have to connect it. See, I'm dragging it, and here we go, and you can now see it's, and when you hover your mouse over it, it will actually tell you that which outlet you have connected to. Pretty cool, right? So what else? Well, we need something for the greet button when the button is clicked. Okay. Now, for button, we don't have to actually declare an IB outlet, but we do have to declare some sort of action, right? Because when the button will be pressed, we want some event to be fired in our view controller. What is that called? IB action. There we go. And I'm just going to say over here, button clicked. You can actually name it anything you want. So what is this ID thing? Well, this ID thing is a type, and it's basically used so that so when the consumer, which in this case a view controller, it doesn't know the type of the object that will be passed, so we'll just make it ID, and we can then cast it. Okay. So we have declared this method, which is button clicked, So let's go over to the implementation and implement this method, right? So I'm just going to go it over here. There we go. Let's build this. Okay, so we have a button click method, but we still haven't joined or still haven't told the well, actually, wait a minute. I still haven't created a. Oh yeah, I don't have to create a property, of course. So it's we still haven't connected the button click event to the IB action that will be fired in the view controller. So let's actually go ahead and do that. And here we go. We have received actions and a button click action. So I'm just going to drag it over here into the greet button. And as soon as I release, I get all these events. So which one do I have to basically, watch? So I'm just going to say touch up inside. And touch up inside event is one of the events of the UI button control, and it will be fired whenever you touch the button from inside. Cool. Now the last part is actually to change the text of the variable of this label, which is right over here somewhere. Okay. Since we want to change the text of the label, we do have to define an IB outlet, because we want to change the text of the label from the view controller, which is this file. And how are you going to tell the view controller that there is a connection between a field and a property? The property and the interface element. You're going to declare it as IB outlet. Cool. UI label, and I will just say message. It's kind of like a message label. Let's call it message label. It's always a good idea to have descriptive names. UI label, and I'm just going to say message label, and I have to synthesize also. Here we go, message label. So I've declared it, and if I now go to this file, message label, and I will connect it to, here we go, the label. Here we go. Now the final thing is, of course, to set the property, and this can be done easily. Message label dot text. Now, well, I'll explain you later. Maybe let's say name dot text. All right. Let's go ahead and run this application and see what happens. Let's type something over there and say greet, and whatever you type over here, it will be visible on the label. So we actually created our first functional application. Congratulations. Okay. So that's pretty much it. One thing I was trying to tell you is that we can actually use this particular syntax to assign a name.text value to a name message label.text property. There are different ways of actually doing it. If you say message label, you also have a set text. Okay, and how set text got created? Can you tell me? It got created because of the synthesize. So it really depends on your taste, how you like to set it. I like to set it like this. All right, so that's pretty much it. And in this particular screencast, you learn how to create a very simple, kind of like a hello world kind of an app, a functional app. Okay, that's pretty much it. Once again, if you like this, you can send out the donations to adamsharp@gmail.com using a PayPal account. Everything and anything is appreciated. Thank you very much.